Welcome to the Social Media Marketing Talk Show, your guide to the ever-changing world of social media.
On today's show, we're going to explore new Instagram Reels insights, Instagram Reels ads, stories tools, DM automation, and a lot more with Natasha Samuel. If you want to understand how to benefit from these Instagram changes, then you're going to want to stick around for sure. We believe that with smart marketing, you can compete with the largest players in your industry. I'm Michael Stelzner. This is the Social Media Marketing Talk Show. If you want to go deeper, be sure to check out our Social Media Marketing Society, where you get instant access to 140 in-depth marketing training workshops, live ongoing monthly training, and support from a welcoming community of marketers. Head on over to socialmediasociety.info to learn more. And now for this week's expert guest. Natasha Samuel is an Instagram expert, host of the Shine Online podcast, and she's also got a number of Instagram-focused courses, including the Hot Instagram Summit, and she's a regular on this show. Welcome back, Natasha. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So happy to be here.
So we've got a lot of news to talk about today, and really Reels in particular is one of the areas where there's been a lot of new stuff. Let's start with insights. What exactly do we now have that we didn't have before when it comes to Reels?
Yeah, a lot of really exciting things that were announced in Creator Week, and this was kind of one of them leading up to it. So pretty much a lot of people were requesting, we want to see Reels insights. We want to see Reels insights. So because for so long, they weren't included in the total amount of insights that you were seeing within Instagram. So now, not only do we have Reels insights, but we also have live insights and a whole new way to look at your account reach. So for Reels insights, you can look under your individual videos, but also in the Insights tab under your Instagram settings. And there's different things like not only your views, but the amount of plays that you're getting for your video, how many accounts it's reaching, and then normal insights like likes, comments, but saves and shares also, because those were something that weren't included. And then for the Instagram lives, we also can see how many accounts were reached, but some really fun ones is you can actually see the peak concurrent viewers. So that pretty much means how many people, like the most amount of people that were viewing your lives at one time. And then you also can see things like comments and shares. And then kind of bringing everything together, we have a new way of looking at reach. So instead of just saying, here's your reach, they're really breaking it down a little bit more. So not only are you able to see how many accounts you're reaching that are your current followers, but also accounts that you're reaching that aren't necessarily following you. And then it also breaks down for account type. So you can see how many new followers and how many current followers your IGTVs are reaching, Reels, Lives, feed content, all of that good stuff. So really great for businesses that are wanting to leverage those insights so they can create smarter on the app.
So first of all, on the live thing, it sounds like they finally have brought from Facebook over to Instagram all the stuff that we can do over there on Facebook with the retention graph and all that kind of stuff, right? And the peak concurrence and all that. Does it show you with Reels how many new followers you got as a result of your Reels? Because obviously the big advantage to Reels is you're getting out to a new audience, right? Does it provide that insight? Do you know?
So it does say account reached, but ironically enough, I post a lot of Reels, and that is the only one I haven't been able to test out myself. I have the lives, I have the reach, but I don't necessarily have the Reels yet. But from what I've heard, it's definitely going to be focusing a lot on the reach, but also differentiating between like how many plays you're getting total, and then the difference between that and like your total amount of views.
Now, they also announced ads for Reels. What do we know about this? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's going to look very similar to Instagram story ads and TikTok ads. So it's going to be its own piece of content you're going to be seeing on its own slide. It's going to be 15 seconds, and it's going to look and feel very similarly to a feed post if they're discovering it in the feed or in the Reels channel. So people are able to comment on it, engage with it the same. But essentially, it's a really great way to get in front of that Reels audience. I think a lot of people are worried, like, is this going to change how much your reach is able to get lots of views and that viral amount of engagement. But it might feel very similarly to how it is on TikTok, which is kind of just a part of how you scroll through your Reels.
Have you seen an ad yet? A Reels ad?
I have not. I know they've been testing it in different countries, like India, for example. So they're now just like, okay, this has been really successful. And now they're rolling it out to all accounts.
I wonder how you're going to know the difference between an ad and a non-ad. And I also wonder whether there'll be an option to take a reel and put money behind it to kind of give it a boost. Do you think that's going to happen?
Right, like boost it?
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely think that's going to be a part of it because that's kind of how a lot of the Instagram ads work. Like if you see a story that you've already created, you can boost it, or you can, of course, just create your own ad and put it within the Ads Manager tools.
Well, I think what's exciting about this is for marketers who want to, well, first of all, creating a Reels ad is not going to be easy, right? Because you can't just take your existing like story ad and stick it into Reels and expect it to perform. I would imagine it's got to look like a reel and feel like a reel in order for it to perform, I would think. Don't you think?
Definitely. And in terms of ads, I've been seeing Reels style videos actually trending on stories ads, feed ads, because the text is moving. They're so dynamic. They're so engaging. So I think that the type of content that you see on Reels definitely needs to be what you're actually creating for your ads. Because if it looks like a story, if it looks like a different type of video content, it just might not perform as well.
Now, Reels currently do not have a call to action, right? You can't add a link to a Reel, can you?
No, you cannot.
So this must be something that will be, there has to be a call to action, I would imagine, on the Reels ad. So maybe they'll add a swipe up capability or something like that so you can leave the app. Kind of interesting.
Definitely.
We knew this was coming, right? Because obviously everything Facebook, as the company does, eventually is monetizable as an ad thing. So that's going to be really, really interesting. We'll see how that goes. Instagram added something called drops. What is this exactly?
Yes. So this is for the product-based brands out there. So if you're already utilizing Shop and you have the shopping tag set up and your different items on Instagram to directly tag them, you now can utilize drops, which essentially is if you are launching something that is kind of very timely, maybe there's limited stock, maybe it's a limited edition collection. So it's essentially done to create a lot of hype around that drop or launch for a specific product.
By the way, one of our live viewers, Brittany Jackson, said that she's seen a Reels ad and it scrolls by. It just flows as you scroll. And she said that you see the word sponsored on the Reels ad.
Right.
So that's going to be the way it's distinguishable, which is pretty fascinating. So thank you for that, Brittany. So auto captions stickers. Tell us about for stories. Like, have you tried this? How does it work?
Yes.
What is it? Tell us more about it.
Yes. One of the most long-awaited Instagram stories stickers that I thought we would absolutely never get. And essentially what you can do is when you film an Instagram story or you upload in a video, so whether it's natively in the app or from your camera roll, you then go to your stickers and you'll actually see a caption sticker. So I'd say most people have it, but I also do get people messaging me every once in a while that they haven't gotten it just yet because it is kind of new. But essentially what you do is you press the sticker and it automatically transcribes whatever you are saying on your Instagram story. It's actually very accurate and you can edit it as needed. You can change the text. And it's such a great way to not only make your content more accessible, but also more engaging, because I know I am guilty of just speed tapping through stories without my sound on. So I think it's a really great way to really bring people into your stories content.
So you record your little video, right? Upload
Yes.
it to stories, add the sticker to it. And then how does it look on the screen? Like kind of describe what it might look like.
So there's actually a few different text options. So some of it you can see the whole sentences. Some of it's kind of like scrolling, like almost like you'd see in like a movie subtitles. So they all look a little bit different and some are just line by line. And then the text actually mimics the fonts that we already have on Instagram stories. So it kind of blends in very naturally with stories, but of course it's going to add in those new sentences, those new lines as you talk and as the captions kind of scroll through what you're saying.
Do you recommend that people start using this pretty much as a standard capability whenever they're doing video?
Yes, absolutely. I think that adding text to video is key. And especially with stories, like I mentioned, making the platform more accessible, but also more engaging. Two kind of bonus tips to give you is that it's really nice to also use captions along with text. So I like to use text to kind of give like a header or like a headline of what the slide is about. And then I use the transcriptions to actually transcribe every word that I'm saying. And then also, if you can add a background using a different icon or an image from your camera roll, so it's not your shirt or your background on white or black text, it's going to make things a little bit easier to read. I've also seen people like scribbling backgrounds onto those, but those are kind of some easy tips to make your captions even better for your stories.
Can you edit if they got it wrong? Do you understand what
Yes.
I'm asking? Okay.
Yes, you can easily tap the caption and it'll give you everything you can edit. So I find it's pretty accurate, but sometimes you might need to capitalize something, add in punctuation, and you can easily do that before posting.
Excellent. Okay. You mentioned this creator week or whatever. So what was that and what came out of that? Because it sounds like there was a whole bunch of stuff that came out of this for people that are creating stuff on Instagram, right?
Yes, essentially it was an event really catered towards highlighting creators, influencers on the app. So not only kind of for discoverability, but also giving some new features, some new announcements, and really breaking down a lot of the common questions and areas that people want to focus on related to the algorithm. But they announced some really cool features like affiliate. So we're all pretty familiar with affiliate marketing, but now you can actually do it within the Instagram app. So you can set it up, you can get your payouts for anything that you are essentially recommending. If I'm showing that I have a certain computer monitor, I can make an affiliate mount by using a little tag right through Instagram.
Hold on a second. Is this like an Amazon integration or something like this? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so it's not integrating with something like Amazon. It's actually its own native thing within Instagram. So you can just set it up with things that you have your affiliates on, and then you can add little stickers easily onto your content, like on an Instagram story or in your feed posts.
So is it more of a way of like disclosing that you are an affiliate for this product, or is it actually a marketplace? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of more of a native like marketplace experience, because what it would essentially be is, instead of me having to get my affiliate links off my computer, off my phone, or kind of write it out, I can just pull up that sticker and kind of essentially pull up the product or whatever it is that I'm recommending and get that affiliate link. So it's just making it easier for creators to share those links versus always having to manually copy and paste them into your swipe up or tagging them onto an icon, adding them to your link in bio. So it can kind of be more directly within the app. And then you just get your payouts. Just like, it's kind of essentially like if we had products, it's like that, but for affiliates.
What else did they announce during this creator stuff? It looks like there is some sort of marketplace that came out of this. What is that exactly?
Yes. So basically, they opened up shopping features for creators or influencers. Essentially, this was created for selling your merch. So if I had like a merch line of mugs and shirts and different things like that, I can easily sell it within Instagram. So I can use the sticker tags, I can use the product tags on my post, and it also can be in the shopping tab and shopping guides. So essentially, all it is you can either hook it up with merchandise links you already have, or they've actually partnered with 4 different merch tools for really syncing things up and making it easy for creators that have those different merch lines.
And then they also came out with some ability to help you with product launches as well. Do you understand what the news is on that? I'm seeing product launch tools. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
I don't know exactly what that means, but I know they're really always focusing more on like, how can they make it easy for creators to make money, businesses to make money on the platform, which I feel like is where a lot of the announcements really came from. I know one that was very appealing to me was related to live badges. So if anyone's listening, they're not familiar with badges. Essentially what it is while you're watching someone go live, you can then tip them or buy badges. So they're only a few dollars each, but if you like the content, you can then tip them and then they get a direct payout from that. I've done it a few times. It's really fun and it's really cool. You can see who's contributing to your live, but essentially to incentivize people to use badges more, they're actually giving milestone payouts. So essentially there's there's one payout where you get $100 for going live for 15 minutes, which I've already done. And I got my payout right after. And then the next stage is actually going live with a guest for 30 minutes. And that is $150. And then from there, you can get up to $250 per live stream when you do it regular and weekly. So it's up to $1,250 just by going live on Instagram. And they're kind of just like bribing us, essentially what it is.
Do you have to use a creator account to get all this stuff? Is that the key to this?
So what's really interesting is I don't have a creator account. I have over 10,000 followers and I have a business account and I have access to it. I've heard a lot of people discussing that having creator accounts, having over 10,000 followers might mean you get badges sooner, but it doesn't mean that it's exclusive to that. I know I've had people that have under 10,000 followers also get the option to do badges. So I don't think it's very limited. I just think they're really rolling it out sooner to people that are already utilizing a ton of lives or have a really engaged audience.
Do you have to go and like activate a little checkbox in the settings in order to be able to qualify for this kind of stuff?
Yes. So in your professional dashboard or in your settings, essentially it's the same place, but curated in different ways within the Instagram app. You'll find a tab that is badges. And that's where you'll see your milestones and that's where you'll be able to set it up. I know for me, one day it just popped up on my screen like, you're eligible for badges. And so I just set it up with my PayPal account and it was pretty easy. So I know for some people it's shown up randomly and they can do it. So it kind of just might be a slow rollout for this type of feature.
Fascinating. Okay, Instagram direct messaging automation is now available. We've briefly talked about this on another show, but maybe you could just tell us your thoughts. I don't think you and I talked about it. We talked about it with someone else, I believe, but more from the Facebook side of things. But what exactly is this automation making possible, if you will?
Yeah. I mean, essentially what it is, of course, Instagram's owned by Facebook. So those features are slowly starting to make their way onto the app in different ways. And so essentially you can have your frequently asked questions automatically pop up when a customer or someone goes to direct message you. So maybe like, how much is shipping? How long is the sale? Where do I access this? So people can automatically tap on those responses and get a reply. So not only is it helping you kind of manage your direct messages a lot easier, but it's giving a lot better customer service, which hopefully will increase conversions, which is the goal with the feature.
Do you need a third-party tool for this to work, or is this built into Instagram? Do you know, as far as these options?
Yeah, so it's built in with all the Messenger API updates that they're having. I haven't played around with it, but that's essentially where it's built in.
Yeah. I know that, for example, ManyChat and ChatFuel and a lot of these like Messenger bots are now leveraging the Instagram DM thing, and you can do a lot of creative things with it. But I do think that, if I'm not mistaken, and this may or may not be related, but I believe some of the scheduling softwares that allow you to schedule also will allow you to schedule or respond somehow through DMs now, where before you couldn't do that. Does that sound about right?
Definitely. Instagram's kind of opening up the doors of like, you can do with our app, but you also can do it more openly with other type of scheduling tools, messaging apps, and different things like that.
So I know there's a bunch of other features that Instagram has rolled out. Let's see here. Instagram adds new elements to its branded content tools, including multi-brand listings. So what does that mean?
Yeah. So if you are an influencer and you're doing paid partnerships, instead of just saying that there is one brand that you are partnering with, you can add multiple brands. So I've done a few brand partnerships and I can't imagine that my content would actually be for two different brands at one time. But I think it is a really great way if people are featuring different brands to disclose that it is a paid partnership or sponsored post.
Now, Instagram also revealed a little bit more about how its algorithm works, if I'm not mistaken. So what did we learn from this? Do you know any new insights?
Yeah, a lot of really great insights. And I think nothing was necessarily really new, but they really clarified a lot of the theories that I think we have around how the Instagram algorithm works. One of the biggest things that I think a lot of people were really excited about them really clarifying, giving more details on, is that there isn't just one algorithm, that there's multiple algorithms on how people discover content. And I think we've seen this because there isn't just the Instagram feed anymore. Right. There's stories, stories, there's reels, there's IGTV. So essentially they're saying the way someone might discover a reel is different than the way someone would discover a feed post on the Explore channel, which is also different in how they prioritize Instagram story content. So that was kind of one of the biggest insights that really gave some really great ideas of like, okay, we're not like fighting one algorithm. There's really a lot of different factors to play into your content strategy.
And my guess is not even Instagram totally understands how the algorithms work, because when you're dealing with artificial intelligence systems, they kind of just eventually just take over, you know?
Right. And that was one other thing is they had a lot of their team members do a lot of the lives and content during Creator Week. And they actually said that it's not just machine based, that there actually are humans a part of it too.
Oh.
So one of the things that people were saying, they're like, is Reels really being prioritized? Is that really what you're focusing on? And essentially what they said is that, you know, when people are like they're people behind the screen or whatever, the Instagram team, they're essentially seeing that short form video is performing the best on the app. It's trending. It's getting a lot of great engagement. People love the entertaining reels. So that's essentially then what they might push more of just because of what they're receiving. So they kind of said there's a mixture of both. Who knows how true that is, but they did say that during one of their lives.
But isn't everything short form video on Instagram? I
Right.
mean, like it's all 60 seconds or less, isn't it? Right?
Except IGTV and live
Oh,
streams.
that's true.
So live
That's
streams
true.
can be pretty lengthy. I mean, I've seen them go up to an hour. And then with lives,
Good point.
they can be on IGTV. IGTVs can be pretty long too. So that's kind of the longer form pieces of content.
Yeah, a very good point. I often forget about IGTV. It feels like it
Yeah.
was like this big exciting thing, and then everybody kind of forgets about it.
Right.
Until all of a sudden, oh, our lives can be IGTV. How cool. So public like counts, I guess we now have control as a user. Is that true? I mean, does that mean we can turn our like count numbers back on? How does that work? What's the story here?
Yeah. So on your posts individually or just in your overall settings, you can decide if you want your like counts to be visible or not. They essentially said it was too controversial for them to decide on which was better. So now you have the option. So if you tap the three dots on your feed post, for example, you'll see a few different settings, and one of them is actually hide like count. So some people say it's really great because they don't have to worry so much about what their post is perceived to be performing. Interesting to see how it'll affect influencer marketing, because of course brands want to know how influencers are doing in terms of engagement. But I think it's kind of interesting is they kind of put the ball in our courts and said, decide on your own.
So do you recommend that we turn like counts back on, or what's your thoughts? I mean, does it depend on how big our account is?
I think it totally depends. I mean, what's great about it is you can always still see your likes on the back end. So you can figure out if content is performing well. I think it would be very interesting over time to see if removing your like counts, does it increase your engagement? Does maybe it reduce your engagement? I personally think likes don't really matter, but I do understand how it's very much a part of the Instagram culture to kind of see, oh, well, this is getting a lot of likes. Maybe I want to like it, or how someone's account is performing, business is performing. So there's a lot of different thoughts to go around there. So I think it's totally a personal choice.
So Instagram has launched this new online magazine called Instagram Insider. Have you looked at it? What's the story here?
Yeah, so they've kind of curated this magazine, and this is really, again, focusing on creators. So they're highlighting creators, they're sharing trends, they're sharing tips. And kind of my key takeaway from this and a lot of the things we've mentioned around these creator features is that Instagram wants to be the one-stop shop for influencer marketing, because where influencers are, that's where brands will spend their money. And where influencers are, that's also where people will consume content. And that's where trends are birthed. And content really is, dictated by that. So that's essentially kind of what it is to just give more boosts and more pops to creators. Because I know one thing I've heard them say is that they think TikTok is way better at discovering new content and new talent. So I think they're kind of trying to do that internally themselves with this magazine and a lot of the things that I've been seeing them push out on their creators account. I know they've been sharing Reels trends every week. So they're really trying to give us everything we need to succeed on the app.
Natasha, if people want to follow you on Instagram, where would they go?
Yeah, so you can find me at Shine with Natasha on Instagram. That's where you can access some of my content, say hello, would love to connect.
And if they want to find you off of Instagram, where would they go?
Yes. So at shinewithnatasha.com, I have some really great resources. And then also my podcast, the Shine Online Podcast. And I am hosting Hot Instagram Summer right now. So if you need some help with your Instagram education, content pillars, batching, you can find it there too.
And also, folks, don't forget to check out our Social Media Marketing Society. The Social Media Marketing Society is socialmediasociety.info for the podcast listeners. And if you want to add another podcast in addition to Natasha's and this one to your lineup, be sure to subscribe to my Social Media Marketing Podcast, where we drop every Thursday. Natasha, thank you for coming. And until next time, may you all be wise with your marketing decision. See you next time. Bye, Natasha.
Bye.
The Social Media Marketing Talk Show is a Social Media Examiner production. For more social media insight, visit socialmediaexaminer.com.